Welcome back in online classes, and here I would like to tell you that we were discussing about the chapter, the third level from the book of Vista, and we have finished part first and second, and now we are on the third part. So before starting this third part, and I would like to tell you about the brief introduction which we have read, which we have studied in the third in the second portion, students. Now here in the second part we have came through by various things that how the station looks like, how the third level looks like, and from the inside the people outfits, the window, how the window looks, how the interior of the railway station, we've been through we've been through the people attires, that how's the like they keep beards and all, as well as the different masters and different kind of styles uh, on that period of time of fashion, as well as we have read about the uh, that there is a city which name is, just wait for a second, I would like to tell you. Here, my dear students, the Galsburg city was very nice, and it was very which makes it nice, which makes it so beautiful for the rest of the life, to a peaceful life, because of the people, which makes this city very nice, because in that period of time people generally spend their time with each other. They generally sit at their lawns and have chat with their friends, relatives, as well as the women waving their palm leaves, as second which makes the city as very beautiful, that the streets which is covered by the trees branches, which make it like say roof. So many things were there, as and the main thing which he makes us realize, that the world war first and second, which was not happened till yet in 1894, and still 40 years for second world war and 20 years for first world war. So you have to keep this thing in your mind, students, so it would be very easy for you to write the answers in your answer sheets. Now, as well as we came through by the tickets, the bill means notes, the currency notes, which was totally different from the as today's scenario. You have also mentioned this thing, which makes this whole incident real. Now there, I have seen many times that these questions are seen in newspaper, in question paper, that which makes third level as real in the eyes of Charlie. So you have to mention these points. Now come to the third portion, where we have left second portion. We have left that there is nothing nice about the jail even in 1894. Means jail means that he didn't want to go into any offense, and don't want to get any punishment, and not improvised himself in the sentence. So now moving to next, and that was that I left the same, and that was that I left the same way I came. I suppose next day during lunch hour I drew $300 out of the bank, nearly all we had. So now here he had almost 300 saving. So he all dragged out from the his bank account. And now what he did with this dollar, with this $300, nearly all we had, and bought old style currency that really worried the psychiatrist friend. So as he is telling his psychiatrist friend, that what we did, we just we went to a kind of a store, old currency store. We purchased the old ticket, old note, old currency of 300. So what we did, we hand over 300 currency of modern world, and how much we got returned. Just read it. You can buy old money at almost any coin dealers Coin dealers means that we have students, you have gone through by different words of uh, which we can get the currency. Like there is a Western Union, PayPal, or different styles of mode of resources that we can get the money, exchange money. So this is a coin dealer means that the exchanger of money. It's a counter, but you have to pay a premium. Premium means that you have to pay the interest, you have to pay the tax in a form of tax or in interest. That old currency means, if I say that in what was the currency of before 1947 of India and after 1960, so that 100 rupees, you might have seen the old kind of 100 rupees was totally a kind of a black and dark print, but now the 100 rupees is lighter and totally different. So who will keep these hundreds? People have habits to collect the currency, for the future generation, so they can pass through, they can show their their time of currency to their first generation, second generation, third generation, and this legacy goes on for a long period of time. And even sometimes people just in the trouble time, they just sell their currency, their old currency, to have fulfill their desire. So just that, for that's why people just keep their like we can say these are the antique things people generally have or on these things for the future. Now, what he's saying, my $300 bought less than 200 in old style bills, but I didn't care. Eggs were 13 cents a dozen in 1894. So he was saying that he gave 300 of current currency, and in return he got only 200s of old style of notes. So there was a gap of $100. He had to got a loss of $100, but he was not too much worried, because in that period of time there was not too much expenses were there, that you can say, for the example, the egg were 13 cents. So eggs was 13 cents a dozen. So if you want to purchase eggs, a dozen eggs, so you had to pay the only 30 cents in 1894. Now moving to next. But I have never again found the corridor that leads to the third level at the Grand Central Station. But after containing the money, old currency, now he was looking for the door where he entered the third station. But this time he was not able to get inside it, because it was very hard for him to locate, to search the right place where he can enter inside the third level. Although I have tried often enough, he was saying to his friend that he had tried many times to get inside, but every time he got failed. Lucia was pretty worried. She was very worried when I told her all this. My wife, like Charlie's wife, was very worried about it, about this incident, that I specially purchased tickets. I specially purchased bills, notes, old currency notes, and he was showing that he was so desperate, he was so passionate to enter in this third level, as well as wanted to have his wife to visit such type of place which is so beautiful. And she didn't want me to look for the third level anymore, and she was so tense, and she didn't want that I should search such type of place which is not exist in this world. And after a while I stopped, and I stopped looking the third level. I went back to my stamps. Stamps means that as I have already mentioned in the first part, the stamp means the first cover, where like there is a small sticker is there, stamp, which we can say that people generally put on the envelope of any letter, and that makes this letter illegal. Without stamp, the letter is not legal, and you could put it into the mailbox, but when the post office, any employees will come, and when he will found that there is no any stamp, he will return, or might be it will be put in their storeroom. So you would never send your message to this any your receiver. As you are sender, so you are not able to get your send message to your receiver. So stamp are so important. But in that previous time, people generally used to contain these type of stamps for their future, for their as a hobby. This is the kind of a hobby. So as I have told you that generally people have different hobbies. Now, but now we are both looking every weekend, because now we have a proof that the third level is still there. My friend Sam Winner disappeared, and now meanwhile this procedure, when I stop looking, I just spending my time to my leisure time to finding the stamps. That time I found that my one of friends psychiatrist Sam Winner, he had lost, he had disappeared. He was no, like there was no any contact between Charlie and Sam. So he is saying that he was totally disappeared. Nobody knew where, and even not only himself as well as the other people didn't know about where he had gone in that period of time. My friend Sam Winner disappeared. Nobody knew where, but I sort of suspected. I had little bit doubt, because Sam's is city boy. Sam is a city boy. And I used to tell him about the Galsburg. I went to school there, and he always said he liked the sound of the place, and there is where he is. All right, in 1894. So he is suspecting that might be he has gone there to the Galsburg, just because of whenever I am telling about this beautiful city, he always love to listen. He always pay full attention to this city, because it shows that it has become his desire to visit that place, because he is a city boy. And the Galsburgs is a kind of a place, is a town which is very unique in terms of peacefulness, and people are very mingling nature. People are so supportive. There is no tension, there is no harassment, there is no cruelty as a modern world. So he is suspecting that his one of friends Sam had gone to the Galsburgs. Now moving to next. Now he is adding that because one night, fussing, excited with my stamp collection. He was so excited with my stamp collection. I found, well, do you know a first cover is, and I told him that, do you know what is the mean of first day cover? So Charlie is explaining what is the mean of first day cover. When a new stamp is issued means launch. Stamp collectors, like those people who are by their profession, this is their business to collect the stamps, or some people just collect the stamps as a hobby, buy some and use them to mail envelope to themselves on the very first day for sale. Now what they do, they buy the stamps, they put the stamps, they strip the stamp on the envelope for the sale, and the postmark proves the date, and whatever the postmark is there, the stamp is there, which is the proof that this stamp is taken on that particular date. The envelope is called the first day cover. They are never opened, and people generally not open that envelope. Why? Because it is their hobby. Where they can keep that stamp. This is a small piece of a sticker, so it might be can lost. So just people do one thing. People just take an envelope and stick that stamp on the upper side of the page of envelope. So, and they keep in their store, they keep in their almirah, in their cupboard. So whenever they have a very not happy mood, when they are not in happy with this world, so just they for the time pass, for their old memory, they just look into it and see their collecting things. You just put back paper in the envelope. What they are never opened. Why? Because you just put blank paper in the envelope. So that's why in the blank paper nothing is mentioned. So people do not open the envelope. That night, among my oldest first day covers, I found one that should have been there. One should not have been there. So one night, I was just checking my stamp collection, and one piece of paper was not there. One envelope was not there, and it should not be there, but it was there. what it was. Why? Because there is something in an envelope. There are many envelopes. Why? Because there are many envelopes, because every envelope have the stamps. So as much as he would buy, or his grandfather would buy stamps, so they have that much store of stamps, that much collection of stamps. So every stamp strip on the envelope. So suppose if there is 20 stamps, so they first purchase stamps as well as envelope. So put their stamps on the above of envelope. But there it was. It was there because someone had mailed it to my grandfather at his home in Galesburg. Why this envelope is with me? Because somebody has sent a letter in this envelope, and the letter was sent to my grandfather, and this letter was came through Galesburg, and somebody, my known of my grandfather, had sent this letter to my granddad. That's what the address on the envelope said, and it had been there since July 18, 1894. So since 1894 I didn't open it, and now I'm going to open this post which I got. The postmark showed that, yet I didn't remember it at all. I didn't remember about this envelope, but now the stamp was a 6 cent. Whatever the stamp was on this envelope, it cost 6 cent in that period of time. Dull brown, the color was very dull brown, with a picture of President Garfield. As I have told you, every stamp has a picture of the president, the prime minister. As I have told you that in our country there are pictures of, my dear students, of Indira Gandhi, Nehru. Also in that period of time, people generally buy this just because of that their envelope, their letter could be seen as illegal. So that's why it's mandatory for them to put the stamp on the envelope. Naturally, when the envelope came to granddad in the mail, it went right into his collection and stayed there. And my grandfather didn't open this mail, this post. He didn't open this mail, and he just, what he did, instead of reading this letter, what he did, he just put this letter into his collection. There is a cupboard which he always decorated with a right order. It went right into his collection and stayed there till I took it out and opened it. And from that period of time, now I am opening it. The paper inside was not blank; it read. So, as generally people have blank paper, but now this paper, the paper which was inside, the letter which was inside, it's not a blank. Something is written in it. So now, first of all, on the right side there is a address 941 Wildred Street, Galesburg, Illinois, July 18, 1894. Charlie. So means this letter is for Charlie. I got to wishing that you were right. Then I got to believing you were right. So right now he is saying that, Charlie, you are right. I now in the initial stage it was very hard to believe, but now I started believing it, and now definitely I could say that you were right. What someone is saying that the Charlie was right. Charlie, it's true. I found the third level. So means that somebody is telling to Charlie that someone has found the third level. So maybe he is saying to someone else. Do you have any idea to whom he is saying about the third level? Yes, we have idea. The Charlie was saying to his one of psychiatrist friend. My dear students, what was the name of that friend? Sam. Yes, you all are right. I have been here 2 weeks, and right now, like last 2 weeks, I have been continuously living. I'm continuously staying at the place, and still I am living in Galesburg. Down the street at the Delhi, someone is playing a piano. So now he is telling that down the streets there is someone who is playing piano, and they are all out on the front porch singing Nelly Home. So now they all are singing a song, which name of the song is Sing Nelly Home, and I am invited over for lemon. Lemon means nimbu pani. It is juice of lemon. Come on back, Charlie and Lucia. Keep looking till you find the third level. It's worth it, believe me. And now their friend Sam is trying to invite them. Why don't you visit this place? He is inviting them, and he is suggesting to Charlie that keep going for searching the third level. Now the note is signed by Sam. My dear students, you can see. So this letter is sent by the Sam. To whom? To Charlie. Now the last paragraph of the chapter was what he's saying. At the stamp and coin store I go to. Now after reading this letter, what Charlie did, he just straight went into the coin store. What he did, Charlie found out that Sam bought $800 worth of old style currency. So as he already suspected that might be he had gone to the Galesburg, now it had been sure that he went to the coin store, and he bought the $800 of worth of old style currency. That ought to set him up a nice little hay. In hay means a grass, a dry grass or a grass which the stray animals eat. Feed and grain business. So why he took this $800 just because of he wanted to set up his own business of what? Of maybe feed means restaurant, or maybe he wanted to have his business of grain. He always said that what he really wished he could do, and always he wanted to say that he wanted to set up his own business in such type of place, like especially Galesburg, because it shows that he was also fed up from this world. And he certainly can't go back to his old business. And now whatever his business right now, he is doing like a psychiatrist business. He was not happy with his own business right now. Not in Galesburg illness in 1894, his old business. Why? Sam was my psychiatrist. Why? Sam was my psychiatrist. So here he saying that why I doing my old type of business, my psychiatrist business. I just, whatever my heart is saying, I just want to do that thing. And now he had doing his work. Now my dear students, the chapter is end, and there are a few questions are there. So I would like to discuss all these questions with you. Now the first question of this chapter is, do you think that the third level was a medium of escape for Charlie? Why? Yes, the third level was a medium of escape for Charlie, because Charlie had been suffering from a problem of insecurity, extortion, worried, cruelty. So he was not satisfied with this surrounding. Whenever he was saying whatever he was he been through, he was not happy. He was not happy with his own surroundings. So he found that the third level would lead him where, because in third level there is a station, that this is a kind of a station where he could go by his grandparental place, which was Galesburg. So he had heard enough about the Galesburg. It was a city of a very beautiness, and you can explain about little bit about this beauty of city, the good quality of city of Galesburg. What do you infer for Sam's letter to Charlie? What do you infer, like that, what type of information Sam is telling to the Charlie? The Sam is trying to tell that the third level is definitely exist in this place, in this Grand Central Station, and he is trying to tell him about that he is doing very well. Like last 2 weeks he had been there, and now he is right now there, and he is inviting them for to visit that place. Now third number question is, the modern world is full of insecurity, fear, worry and stress. What are the way in which we attempt to overcome them? Yes, very important question, that my dear students. Now let me explain you this question. That there are, let me make you understand what the question means. That the question means is that this world, the modern world, is full of insecurity. We cannot trust anybody. The fear is there, fear of anything. Like right now we are very happy, but suddenly some natural or man-made disaster could be there, some terrorist attack could be there, anything could be there, and war can be there, worry is there, stress is there. So everybody is not all are under the pressure of these things. So how we can get away, how can we rid of these problems? So what are the other activities which we can feel ourselves, which we sustain ourselves very peaceful? Now there are many activities which we people, man and woman, can join them and do some things. Like there are many hobbies. For what the, like, we can spend time on our own health. Fitness is very important for everybody. Now I'm so crucial about my fitness. If I talk about my personal self, I'm very curious, and whatever, I have a bad mood, or whatever I have not in healthy mood, so I just go for gym, I just go for walk, and give time to myself to make my body lean and make my body fit. And there are other activities. People generally go to some social clubs where they can discuss about the social events, like, and even people can spend people should go to the ceremonials events like birthday, marriage, as well as like there are many social websites as well as positive social website where they can get positive content from them, knowledge. There are online library, there are offline library. People can go there and read the different books and get the a very soulful knowledge for themselves. Like there is a literature is there, and even people have the curiosity, they can learn different language is a very nice way to get knowledge about any other culture. So there are many activities that you students can write down in your answer sheets, that what are the activities which we can read off from the insecurity, war, cruel, tension. Now the fourth question is, my dear student, do you see an intersection of time and space in the story? Time and space, yes, there we have seen the intersection of time and space in the story. Like as I have told you that right now he is in this world, that currency, the interior of the, first of all, yes, the interior of the third level was totally different from the today's world, and where people have different style of fashion, and the currency was totally different. The room was made of wood, and the train was run by the locomotive and the company name. So yes, there was I agree. Now question number 5, apparent illogically sometimes turns out to be futuristic projection. Discuss. And now here the meaning of this, that I want to correlate this question with the current situation. In 2011 there was a movie which was based on coronavirus, which right now we all are, this is an epidemic, and it's a very big problem, a painful problem right now which we are facing, and we have to run with it, we have to work with it. So to make ourselves protect, first full of safety and security, we have to work with it, because right now we don't have any proper solution to sort out this problem, like there is a lack of vaccine. Now, so in past, the situation in 2020 which we are facing right now, there is in 2011 there was a movie already based on coronavirus, that the whole world is suffering from it, and this is a disease which spread from person to person by not touching them, but also by air, by surrounding them. So that's, yes, it's a futuristic something. That incident happened in the past on based on, and it happens also in the future as well. As now, philately helps keep the past alive. Discuss other way in which this is done. What do you think of human tendency of constantly move between the past and present and future? Philately means, my dear students, that the old memories, old things which we love to have in our past time. And suppose if I say, if I know that there is a my math notebook which I used to have in my first standard, and my parents fortunately had kept this book in the cupboard, and when I would get grown up, then they would show me how I was in the mathematics, how much marks I got it, and how much error or correction was there. So like, and whenever I read it, so I found that how and I feel so happy, I feel so glad to see my old books, my old things, my old memory which is attached to my past. Even mobile phones, even my books, my special books which I love to read, not only about subject but also the other part of the subject. So the and even my clothes, my shoes, like there are small things are there. My When I was very small, these things I used to wear on daily basis, I used to work with them. So this is the answer. Now here, you had read Adventure by the Jayant Narlikar in Hornbill's class 11th. Compare the interviewing of fantasy and reality in the two story. My dear students, I this question answer I would suggest you to write by your own self, find the answer by your own self, to find this answer from the book of 11th. And I would very happy to get your answer as soon as possible, and I hope you would reply me and in a positive way. And if is there any query, if is any question you want to discuss with me, so you are most welcome to ask me anytime, anywhere. And till then, I would touch with you in next video with other chapter, other class of other chapters. And thank you so much to be with me.